Hi all, welcome to TCM Education. My name is Michael and I'm the analyst and the content creator here on the channel. So for those who are watching our videos for the first time, welcome. Our videos are all about, as you guessed, charts. So that should have been called the Charts channel, but we are the Charts Mavericks, so therefore TCM. So we're talking about KSS and meme stock and maybe a repeat of the GameStop event from 4 years ago. So what happened? Let's start with before we go dive into history. Let's see what happened yesterday. So yesterday, before the market opened, you can see the price action in KSS. That's Kohl's, of course, a big retailer known across the world, obviously in the United States. Nothing spectacular until 15 minutes, 8:40, 8:45, something happened. So you can see here, first the volume picks up, and then the price action picks up, and then the volume picks up not substantially. It's like an avalanche of volume versus the prior hour. So you can see maybe a 10,000% pickup in volume, and the price starts moving up, straight up. I mean, any move like this straight up, most of the time comes back straight down. This is what happened, but who got hooked in the face, we'll talk about it in a minute. So basically the move started at let's call it $11, ended at $21.40 inside the market session. So the move did not end in the pre-market, inside the market session, and then the price basically took a huge dive, not quite to the 11 level, but you can see the clear support here above 12. So basically the stock went up 100% plus and went down more than 50%, which is, you know, those price swings are obviously not normal. So what happened here? On some websites, I won't name them because I'm not sure exactly which and how this event came to fruition. This pumping KSS stock started. Those who remember the GameStop event know what I'm talking about. Those who don't need to do some research. So some websites started promoting this buying KSS. So what happens when a stock like KSS starts moving higher? It has great liquidity. There are more than 90, let's see, free float, 110 million shares available. Okay, yesterday they were traded twice, so the volume yesterday was above 200 million shares. So those who bought KSS here got help from somebody, and that somebody that started buying is let me show you exactly who it is. Probably, again, we don't have like a certainty about anything. So you can see one clear number here. The short float in KSS is nearly 66%, which means out of the 100 million shares that are available to trade every day, which is the float, 66% are held short, which means basically that investors are betting, most of them obviously according to this number, that this stock is gonna cave. When, at what price, they know, I don't know, of course. And this number is staggering, not only because it shows such a disbelief in the company and its management, but because it's so disproportionate to other stocks. For example, let's take a bellwether like Apple. Less than 1% of the float is short. If I will go to Nvidia, the numbers will be probably in the same ballpark. So 66% versus 1%. Now those guys that are holding positions short can be, of course, hedge funds, can be individual investors, all kinds of investors. Some of them may be leveraged. Those who are leveraged and are short basically are exposed to unlimited losses. And in this case, the stock went up more than 100%, 120%. It could have gone up 300%. What do you do in this case? If you don't have the margin with the broker will close your position and you ended up with a huge loss and no way to recover. So I don't know who's short, what are the margins, and how this whole idea is being managed. What we see here on the chart is a huge pickup in volume. The stock basically traded yesterday in the first 3 minutes more than it trades in a day. So this is the first 3-minute bar. It traded more volume than it normally trades in a day. So the stock was pumped up. Then some of those buyers started to sell and take profits. And like I said before, there are a couple of groups here of buyers. Those who are entering the game at 11, at 12, at 13. Those who are short and are covering their position and fueling the move up. And maybe there are others that are holding positions that are either selling or maybe adding to their positions. The madness continued basically until 10:30 pretty much, and then the market kind of cooled off, and probably you can see this bar here. Yeah, it started pretty much a little bit after 10:30, when the volumes, you can see, started to dwindle. That's a clear sign that things are not going back to normal. The stock still closed up 40% on zero positive news. It's all this 40% move is all this speculative move that started just before 9 a.m. Now, there are so many opinions on what happened. For example, Jim Cramer says call short sellers should cover and move on. That's his opinion. Then we have Barons that thinks this is the new meme play, which is very bad news for KSS. And we'll see in a minute for KSS short sellers, not for KSS the company. It's the best news they could have received ever, and we'll see why. The game here, or the fight here, or the dog fight here, will resume today in the pre-market, and this is by not any means over. So the event in GameStop took place 4 years ago. Let's take a look at the event and analyze it and see what resembles to KSS. Okay guys, so now we're looking back 4 years. You can see the date here. The date is January 25th. Anyway, the week of anywhere between January 25th and February 2nd, maybe a couple of days earlier. And you can see what happened basically in GME. So first of all, GME traded for months at 253. Then the volume started to pick up and the stock started to pick up. That was the first signal that something is happening. But it wasn't like amazing. The stock went up from 230 to 13, 14, came down a little bit. The volumes were, as you can see, excited, but nothing came close to the event that unraveled in January, where the stock started to pick up huge volumes, and that's definitely a short squeeze. And again, the definition of short squeeze is that those hedge funds, investors, whoever's holding the position shorts are getting squeezed out of their positions, because as opposed to a long play, let's say that you are leveraged 50%, you can lose your money, all your money in the position. If the stock moves up twice, you lose 50% of your share price, and if you're leveraged 2 to 1. If you're 4 to 1 leverage, then it's only a 25 price decline. But on a short play, let's say you're not even leveraged, this stock is moving up here from 20 to 400 or 300, so it's up at one point 1,000%, then 2,000%. So the numbers are quite staggering if you don't have, and I'm guessing that most of those short sellers didn't have enough funds to stay in the game. They are getting squeezed out. That creates a lot of havoc, both for brokers, both for those investors. And somebody made a bundle. First of all, those were the shareholders of GME that stayed put at 250, and at one point they could have sold at 20, that's 1,000%, and then at 200, that's 10,000%, and so forth. The game was an unbelievable. Many stories were written about this event. So let's summarize what happened. 4 years ago, the stock went from base of 250 to the teens, and then totally exploded, killing the short sellers. Will it happen in KSS? I think one issue that KSS has that will prevent it probably to deliver such an explosive move is that it's, I think, way more liquid than a GME. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see in a couple of days what's going on. If the stock is very or less liquid, then the pressure put on the short sellers accelerates. There's less liquidity, so the price jumps higher and higher and higher. And I remember, maybe I'm wrong, I hope I'm not misleading anybody, that the stock traded over 500. I mean, sorry about that, the dog got excited about my GME stories. Bottom line, if we're thinking about the repeat, it is not only a question of who's fighting. Are they the same fighters that there were in the game 4 years ago? It's super important to understand that if the short sellers have more money, they may have the upper hand eventually. The liquidity, I think, plays in favor of their side, because if there is great liquidity, the jump in the price will be more basically methodical versus huge jumps in price that we've seen events like this happening over the last couple of weeks. Just take a look at the price action in SBT after it delivered that reverse split. So there was no reverse split in KSS, so the liquidity is great. Obviously there was no reverse split in GME. They did actually a real split, and the split, you can see it here on the chart, was 4-for-1. Basically the stock benefited big time. Shareholders got, some of them obviously that sold in time, got very rich according to many sources. Maybe this is the fate of the investors that stayed put in calls. Now the list of shareholders is very interesting to watch. Plenty of institutional investors in the stock, and you can see here that most of them, let me see, most of them are the big names like Vanguard and BlackRock and Ryan Cohen and State Street and Susquehanna and Charles Schwab, UBS, and of course there is the public. That's the other. So I don't know what the other means. Are those guys the other? Those are the short sellers, or this is the general public? I mean, we have a list of stock owners, but we don't have a list of the short sellers, which own 65% of the float. Okay, guys, I hope it was interesting enough. This event will continue, and get ready. Those who want to take part in this, let's call it Las Vegas event or bullfight event or ring event. Be prepared to suffer. There is obviously the potential to make unsustainable intraday gains here. On the other hand, if you make a mistake or the trade turns very fast against you. So you need to be on a, on an up and up side. I myself, I will be watching and hopefully delivering another video on this event if something interesting will happen, or maybe in another stock, because there are guys thinking about who's the next GME. There were other stocks trading alongside GME. Of course, GME was the big mover. So we have KSS. There will be other stocks subject to this event. If not today, tomorrow. If not tomorrow, next week. So it's going to be super interesting. We will continue watching and analyzing these events for you. Please do like and subscribe. And if interested, share this video with your day trading friends. And obviously, we'd like you to participate in our mentoring programs. Thank you, and we'll see you in our next video.